Star Wars 7x7 episode 2888. Well, I've done episodes from different states and different countries, but never another planet. I am at Black Spire Outpost on Batuu doing this episode where I'm going to wrap up all the details from Celebration Anaheim 2022. Punch it! Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy. And thank you so much for joining me for it. So I've found a shady corner to tuck myself away into to get a little better audio quality for you so it's not crazy. This was an unexpected opportunity. I did not think I was going to have time to do Galaxy's Edge at all, but it turned out that I was able to get a last minute reservation this morning. Reservations hadn't even been available at all, so just it was dumb luck. And this is my first time here. It is as amazing as advertised and then some. And it seems like the perfect place and also the perfect time to take a breath and recap everything that happened at Star Wars Celebration Anaheim, all the major announcements. And like I did leading up to it, I figured we would do this in the same way that we do our monthly previews and talk about the 12 categories of Star Wars storytelling, which, God, we'll see if I get them right. It's always a challenge. It's movies, live action, animation, comics, books, audiobooks, short stories, virtual reality, video games, streaming, merchandise, and live experiences. Oh my gosh, I got all 12. So here we go. Movies, no movie news at all. So whatever a couple of months Kathleen Kennedy was talking about in the interview that we talked about previously in the show, not related to Star Wars Celebration. Live action is where all the big news happened. And so here's your brief rundown. The Andor series is debuting August 31st with its first 2 of 12 episodes, and we'll be filming a second season beginning in November, probably with a 2024 release. Then the Willow series comes after that, and that will debut on November 30th. Both Andor and Willow have public trailers that you can check out. The Mandalorian has been moved to February of 2023. There was private footage shown only to people at Star Wars Celebration. Then the Ahsoka series is in 2023, a little bit later, but no date or month or season just yet. And again, with that one, private footage shown only to people at Celebration, which also featured the backs of Hera Syndulla and Sabine Wren, and possibly a hand belonging to Jason Syndulla, unconfirmed. And the big moment out of that Ahsoka footage was the live-action recreation of the mural that we see in the finale of Rebels, and then Sabine Wren walking into frame to look at that mural. Then we have Skeleton Crew, which is a brand new series announced, which will take place during the same time frame as The Mandalorian, featuring 4 kids who get lost and are trying to find their way back home, and it's also newly announced going to star Jude Law. And finally, The Acolyte, which is still in development. Writing is supposedly pretty much done. They, I believe, are in casting right now, so that's the scoop with that. And Ahsoka is shooting right now, of course, and they are 3 weeks through their production. On the animation front, Bad Batch is returning in the fall of 2022. No information on how many episodes will be involved. And then there will be a Young Jedi Adventures series, which is focused on the era of the High Republic and targeted at preschoolers. That is coming in spring 2023, and that will be coming to Disney Plus and also to Disney Premiere. On the books front, there weren't any new reveals in terms of new titles coming out from the Del Rey panels. It was just new stuff from The Princess and the Scoundrel and Shadow of the Sith, which have already been announced and are upcoming, just more information shared about those books. And there was one reference book mentioned, Star Wars in 100 Objects, which is not listed in the current listing of future books on Wikipedia, but is out there, so there wasn't really much in that regard. The only real new book announcements happened with the High Republic, and they announced the books for Wave 2, or the titles at least, for Wave 2 of Phase 2 of the High Republic. They are coming in the spring of 2023. Cataclysm by Lydia Kang is going to be the adult novel. Path of Vengeance by Kevin Scott is going to be the young adult novel, and Quest for Planet X is going to be the middle grade novel by Tessa Gratton. It might be Gratton, I might be mispronouncing that. Sorry, Tessa. On the audiobook front, there is one new audiobook original that's been announced, which is The Battle of Jedha by George Mann. Japan, and that will be coming out in January of 2023. One would presume that we will also be getting audiobook adaptations of Cataclysm and Path of Vengeance and Quest for Planet X as well. On the short story front, nothing new about short stories has been announced, but they did say that there was going to be a collection of the Starlight stories. So all the short stories that appeared in Star Wars Insider magazine from Phase 1 of the High Republic are going to be collected into one volume by Titan if you want to catch it there. On the virtual reality front, nothing announced, surprisingly enough. On the video game front, this was one of the odd ones because there was no panel for video games related to Jedi Fallen Order or the sequel, which was announced during Celebration, but not at Celebration. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is coming sometime in 2023. And then Star Wars Hunters had a panel, but they did not actually announce a US release date for it. It's already been soft launched, I gather, in some mobile devices in some countries, but yeah, we don't have a US release date just yet. On the merchandise front, there were some announcements of Obi-Wan related stuff that will be coming in the fall of 2022, but nothing that we can really grab onto from a storytelling situation right now. On the comic book front, we got previews of what will be happening in upcoming issues of the various Star Wars titles and some looks at interior spreads, but really the big title announcement was a 10-issue Yoda series that will be split into 3 trilogies, and then with a 10th episode, or a 10th issue, if you will, that culminates and ties all the stories together. And we know the first arc will be set in the High Republic era, written by Kevin Scott, and we know generally that the framing of the entire situation will take place in between A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back, centered on Yoda, who may not be quite ready for Luke when he shows up, and so the Force decides that it needs to help get Yoda ready, and so this is what that series is all about. Then on the streaming front, Tales of the Jedi was revealed at the panel. It is going to be a 6-episode streaming situation released in the fall of 2022. It will have 3 episodes focused on Ahsoka Tano and 3 episodes focused on Count Dooku. The episodes for Ahsoka will take place across her life. They showed one of them at Celebration, and it features Ahsoka on the day she was born and also a year later. Then Star Wars Visions is going to come back for 2023 in the spring, and this second round is not all going to be anime. In fact, it's primarily not anime. It's going to feature animated sort of styles, if you will, from other countries. There are going to be 10 countries involved in this in all. And finally, on the live experience front, they announced that Boba Fett and Fenix Shand are going to be coming to Galaxy's Edge, and can confirm, I actually did see Fenix Shand here earlier today, and the Mandalorian and Grogu will apparently be arriving at a, quote, later date this year, unquote. And finally, the next date for Star Wars Celebration was announced. It's going to happen from April 7th through 10th, 2023, and they are heading back to the Excel Center in London. And I believe that's it. I think that covers all of the announcements from Star Wars Celebration Anaheim 2022 and the ones that happened during Celebration that didn't necessarily take place at Celebration. So that is going to do it for this episode of the podcast. Now, I am going to go get a Ronto wrap and soak in this amazing experience. And by the way, I've already met Vi Marati, and I have to go keep a lookout for some shady characters. So for now, that's going to do it for this episode of the show, and it just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for it as always, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.
Endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.